Good morning, travelers. Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot. First, please allow me to extend my apologies. I wasn't able to get out an open reading on Monday, and I am still behind on the website posting up the monthlies, as well as the transit watches, as well as responding back. It's been one of the strangest weekends I have ever encountered. It's kind of like I had my dart boards up, and I'm throwing my darts because I'm trying to hit my target, get this done, get that done. But then, I blink and the dartboard has moved. So it's just been one of those weird kind of where nothing has gone to plan. But you know what they say about plans, they're meant to be broken. So anyway, I'm going to come to you today with a short open reading. Welcome new subscribers to both the channel and the website, new members to the website. Welcome old subscribers. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. So just kind of bear with me. After I close this reading down, I'm going to get back on the monthlies. I'm going to post, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get to a transit watch this week. So just expect one next week. I will be sending out a newsletter to those of you who subscribe to the website. So I'm kind of update you on what's going on. I have articles. I have a lot of stuff going on. So let's get into the reading. I have done my meditation. I've really been experiencing a lot of psychic activity over the past couple of nights. I think there's some kind of transit. And not saying that transits are what cause those particular things. It can make otherworldly communications. The transits can bring about conditions for heightened otherworldly communications. And I literally had to get up out of my bed last night. I have a crystal grid down in my bedroom, and I usually burn a candle at night. I mean, it's very dangerous, right? But it is something that I do have to do in order to just gain a little bit of peace while I sleep. Typically, spirits will come. I am a medium. I do have the ability to communicate with transitioned individuals. And so they're trying to tell me something. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but they're getting my attention. So I literally had to get up out of my bed last night and sleep on the sofa with the dog and the cat, which was not cool or comfortable. But I ended up taking my iPod and I don't even know if those things still exist. I got the first generation iPod. So anyway, I took my iPod and listened to my chakra clearing. And it's a 3-hour chakra clearing that I do. So I put it on a loop and I listen to it all night. So I feel a lot better. That still doesn't take care of the issue of me trying to make up these days that I really feel as though I just lost them. And what that tells me is that I've been doing a lot of astral traveling. That's how it plays out for me. It's kind of like I get lost in a time loop. It's kind of like existing on 2 dimensions at the same time. And I remember literally at one point waking up and seeing myself in bed. So, and then asking, why am I even here? Why am I, where am I going? I didn't set any intention to go anyplace. So let's go ahead and get these down. We have the Radiant White and we have the Vita Sibilas, and then we'll close the reading out with a Angel Answer card and a Heart Oracle Tarot. So 9 cards. I have asked that my guides, my teachers, and angels to come in and hopefully they can assist me in passing on to you clear, unambivalent messages. This is a general readings and the messages will not resonate with everyone. So please take what you can and disregard what you cannot. You guys hit me up over on LinkedIn. God, thank you so much. And I'm behind in my classes. I told you guys I was taking a few classes and I'm behind in those. Okay, so here we go. 9 cards. We have the 6 of Swords, the 6 of Cups, Here is a Queen of Pentacles, the Fool card, the Five of Swords, and the Hierophant. Wow, that's interesting. The the Four of Coins, and I'm already getting messages for myself. Here is the Moon card. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Underneath the deck, we have the Knight of Coins, okay? For those of you who don't know much about the tarot, the cards are really speaking. So this is, I think it's very important. So I really do hope that I am able to bring you very, very clear messages. The tarot deck is divided into two distinct groups. We have what are known as the major arcana cards. There are 22 of them. And these are our spiritual lessons and our life lessons. This is the main theme or the big picture kind of messages that come through. And then we have what are known as the pip cards. And the pip cards are our numbered cards, which are, let me show you the cards. The Six of Swords, the Six of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Four of Coins, and the Ten of Pentacles. But the pip cards also include what are known as our court cards, and these are our queens, knights, pages, and kings. Okay, and our three major arcana cards are the Fool card, Uranus. It represents the planet Uranus and the energy of Uranus. And then we have the Hierophant, who is ruled by Venus, represents the sign of Taurus. And then we have the Moon card. This card represents the moon, and it is ruled by Neptune. It rules the sign of Pisces. One second, because we have double, we have double numbers here. We have two sixes, the Six of Swords and the Six of Cups, right next to each other. And we also have two fives, the Five of Swords, and the Hierophant itself is a five. Now, it's usually somewhat significant to have double numbers. So I do like to bring those out and give you the meanings. And so we're going to start with that. We have our two sixes and the Six of Swords and the Six of Cups. So I'm going to give you two separate meanings for the double numbers. You get two for the two sixes and two for the two fives. The first, two sixes, it says issues surrounding equality may affect the relationship. Okay? And I do sense that for some of you, this is a relationship issue. This Queen of Pentacles would represent a earth sign female. She would be a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. If not an actual earth sign, maybe the person may have a moon sign or a rising sign as an earth sign. If not being an earth sign involved, then this is going to be someone who perhaps works in retail or is a bookkeeper or could even be a nurse. This is someone who's ecological, who tends to be very grounded, might give good advice, is good with money, can typically handle money for other people, could even be a bank teller, okay? She is associated with being able to grow things or at least keep things in bloom. That's not really the phrase I'm looking for, but there it is. The two fives, here we have the five of sevens. the Five of Swords, and the Hierophant. 2 5s speak to constant bickering, backstabbing, and ill will from others affect the relationship. Okay? Now, I'm going to go back and give you the other meanings of the 2 5s. And then we're going to get into the reading. 2 5s in a spread tells of new experiences ahead. And I honestly, that was the first thing that I saw, that there is something new that's coming that may have already started to play out for you guys, or you could be right on the cusp of something new. Okay, you know it's coming. Let me go back and give you the meaning of the 2 6s. Now, I do feel that this moon is significant sitting next to this 4 of coins. And I think on the Virgo reading that I've already posted up, the individual monthly for May for Virgo, I think these 2 cards came out, and I remember posting something to you underneath the description box of the video and said for you to please read that. And so this is kind of the message that I'm getting again related to that same thing. And for those of you who haven't seen that, then I will explain that to you in a moment. Okay, 2 6s tells of justifiable faith and trust in your partner. So we're getting conflicting messages. Well, that's what that says. The 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords, the suit of swords represent communications, thoughts, perceptions, beliefs, ideas. And 5s say that if you look at the imagery, this is about people who've been arguing and somebody has won the argument, okay? But then the flip side of this card says, well, was it really worth it? Is it even really worth it to have this particular kind of battle, okay? So this person, and typically whenever I pull this card in a personal reading, it is the person that I'm reading for typically that has won that particular battle, okay? And this can simply be that you just decide to remove yourself away from the riffraff, okay? The fighting. Those 2 people are exhausted. They can't beat you at your game, okay? But also, again, like I said, the message is there are no winners in this, okay? So that's one interpretation with that. Now, we want to go to the 2 5s, right? Did I do the 2 5s? I don't think I did. I think I started with the 2 6s. So let's do the 2 5s. I might have done that already. Gonna do it again. See what I mean? The dartboard keeps moving. No, yeah, 2 5s tell of new experiences ahead. So yeah, I've done both of those now. So let me take a look at this moon card next to this 4 of Pentacles, because it is telling me something. And I want to make sure that I give this to you properly. And sitting next to, yes. Now I want you to pay attention to this, because I do feel that whatever this new thing is for some of you, I feel that, let me just start out and then I'm going to bring that in. I think that would be the best thing. Okay. We have all of this stuff going on around this conflict, and perhaps at this particular moment, maybe for some of you, some type of conflict or argument or battle has broken out quite suddenly here. But I also feel with the Hierophant sitting over here, that this either is going to involve something like a mentor kind of person, maybe your boss, maybe the job where you work. You know, the Hierophant represents big institutions. So we're looking at hospitals, major corporations. We're also looking at churches, religious places of worship. But we're also dealing with the ability to disseminate information. The Hierophant's job is to connect to the higher source. Okay, and this could be a higher up. To connect and then to disseminate this information out, quote unquote, to the masses. So for some of you, this could actually be you in a work position within your corporation. We see that we have the two acolytes there at the base of the Hierophant's feet. Now, if you notice, around the Hierophant's throat is the blue cowl. That represents the throat chakra, the color blue, and it references being able to speak clearly and with truth. Okay? But because the Hierophant represents the sign of Taurus, Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus also rules our personal, you, yourself, not what you have with other people, but it rules your bank accounts, your 401ks, your house, apartment, charities, businesses. It also represents your values, okay? What will you sell your soul for? Or what will you not sell your soul for? What are you going to sell out for? Who and what is most precious and most important to you? Some things are worth more than mere money. Okay, so this is also the energy of the Hierophant. And what I'm looking at, this is past, present, future, past, present, future. I'm looking at someone who I feel in one sense is trying to move away from a situation. Okay, this is what the Six of Swords represents. The Six of Swords, it's about going from troubled times to better times, turbulent waters to smoother waters. Now, this could either be, for some of you, this may come about through some kind of trip or move. Maybe some of you have had to move back home or move back to a place, whether literally or figuratively, I can't even say that word, that might have something to do with your childhood. Okay? This could be someone coming along in to aid and assist you through this. You've been through turbulent times. So this could be someone who's come in trying to aid you. You see, we have the figure of the male in the boat. Here is a woman and a child. Sometimes I look at this as this could actually represent two individuals. It's someone coming in to assist and aid. These are swords. So this might be someone who just comes in to say to you, hey, everything's going to be okay. You know, if there's anything I can do, let me know. Two heads are better than one. That kind of energy. But if this is a figurative move, then this could literally be the universe is trying to move you from one situation to another. The thing is that no matter where you go, you really can't outrun yourself, okay? So you're going to end up taking your thoughts and your experiences with you when you go. But the thing is that no matter what these particular swords represent, we see they are at rest. In one sense, the sixes always kind of represent like I don't really want to say a milestone event, but it represents coming out of conflict, okay? So in other words, now I'm at rest. Okay, and so let me move away from this. And this is about taking the time out to look at where you're coming from and where you want to go. I think for some of you, you are trying to regain your balance. This Six of Cups speaks to childhood, nostalgia, memories. Maybe some of you are thinking about how it used to be before with this person within this particular relationship. This is not necessarily about a romantic relationship, because we are dealing with the energy of Jupiter in Libra. Libra is the house of partnership, so it rules business, romantic relationships, committed relationships, friendships, familial relationships, parental relationships. So, you know, there could be some kind of inequality that's been happening here. And so we're at a point right now where we realize, well, you know what? Maybe I can do this on my own. Sometimes this can represent just an independent woman. It can also be about trying to regain that sense of faith, okay? Because sometimes situations will occur, people will test you, situations will test you, and you really, it's a test of faith. You know, how far down can I go without breaking? All right? And that's a test of faith. And so where sometimes you have to call, everything's being called into question. So This next row is the Fool card, and the Fool card is Uranian energy, and Uranian energy represents sudden changes, things happening out of the blue. It also speaks to new insights. Uranian energy is very inventive. For some, it represents electricity, any kind of electronic communications, or something where the turning on a light. Okay. Um, Electricity moving through wires. It can represent many things. So the Fool card is here to say, well, trust in the universe that whatever this new thing is that's coming, that the universe is there to take care of you. I'm trying to move you to someplace very, very new. It's going to take you out of your comfort zone. But I want you to trust that everything's going to be okay. You see, that he's literally about to take a leap of faith. He doesn't know, and he's not even kind of paying attention. His eyes is up in the sky. He's holding his little rose. I'm going to step off on this with pure heart, pure intentions, and pure faith. I'm just going to do it. We don't know if that little dog on the side there is saying, yeah, let's do it. Or maybe the dog is saying, wait a minute here, okay? Because the negative part of the Fool is about being reckless and naive, okay? And this could sometimes play out as trusting people that you really shouldn't be trusting. Sometimes this is things that are too good to be true. All that glitters is not gold. This could be rushing ahead recklessly without paying heed to anything that anybody's saying to you. Why? Because you think you know better. He represents an infancy stage. So regardless of how that plays out, whether it's positive or negative, it's an infancy stage. It's a new beginning. You're about to go on some new kind of spiritual lesson. So is it going to be a lesson where you're going to go with the flow of what the universe is, or are you going to try to go against it because you know better? Okay. And I think for some of you, this Five of Swords comes after this because it really is. Sometimes you have to make decisions to do things that uphold your own highest good, and that upsets people. They may not understand. Sometimes Uranian energy can be that kind of energy where people just don't understand where you're coming from. They don't understand where you're trying to go. They don't understand what your project is. They don't have any clue what you're doing. And you can't, in a sense, kind of explain it to them. All you know is that you can see it. Uranian energy is very forward thinking. And it can be quite psychic. This is sudden flashes of insight. Things that you see or you know are coming, picking up on trends. Something that you know is coming and you're trying to get in on it. I got to figure out how to get in on it. Nobody else understands that. So this can create some kind of conflict with other people. Okay? And I think the Hierophant is coming out to say that this is really about sticking to your values and what you know to be true for yourself. Okay? Other people are not always going to agree with that. That's the honest to God's truth. So what are you going to do about that? Well, I also feel here comes the information with the Four of Pentacles and the Moon. Now, there are undercurrents surrounding this situation, things that have not come to light yet. Okay? And so you are being asked, this is a warning from the cards. When the Four of Pentacles appears next to the Moon in a spread, it is an indication that there may be deceptive undercurrents and hidden things you are not aware of at this time. Investigate any propositions thoroughly prior to committing to anything. Check all details and ensure you feel 100% positive before commencing. It also says, appearing next to the Moon card, the Four of Pentacles indicates, again, that there are many undercurrents within a situation, and you are to investigate all offers and propositions and do not sign, listen, do not sign any legal and or binding documents until all is clear and upfront. Whatever this thing is, it ends in a 10 of coins. Now, the 10 of coins is the card of legacies and inheritances. Remember, here's the Hierophant. Things built up over time. This can typically be, this could be maybe you have been offered some new position that has come in or will be offered a new position um, as some kind of leader, speaker, mentor, so to speak, teacher. But also, if not that, then within a corporation. And it has the ability to really bring you some kind of wealth or abundance on the physical plane. This could literally be making enough money that you can take care of your family. But there's something about this that I think you should, if this is put to you, I think you should do the research. I think if there's an individual around you that you trust, who has helped you in the past, two heads are better than one. You don't necessarily have to follow that person's advice, but I'm getting the impression that it would behoove you not to, okay? Because you really don't want to make a mistake. This 10 of Pentacles is the end of a cycle here. So this tells me that there's something new coming. It's going to move into, and here it is. This is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles represents a message or an offer coming in. It is something typically that you've been waiting on for a long, long time, okay? Why? Because he's the slowest knight in the deck, okay? And typically when this guy shows up, it is information, and it usually portends good news. It's something you've really been waiting for a very, very long time. Now, for some of you, whatever this message is, maybe it's going to be coming from the West Coast to the East Coast. I don't know. He is moving from the past into the future. And I think what this Fool card is trying to tell me is that you might be dealing with sudden conflicts where people don't want you to move away from where you are for whatever reason, okay? Because you see, they're faced to the past. And I think for some of you, you clearly understand that it is time for you to make that move. And you know it. Maybe some of you fear it. You're afraid to make that move. For some of you, you're probably thinking of packing up and doing it very, very quickly. But this card says you need to wait a moment. Give this some thought. I really want you to, the Four of Pentacles is a card about sometimes sitting exactly where you are, okay, and hanging on to the gains that you have before you invest them in anything in the future, okay? And so if there's been some kind of, seems like people or events or something that seems like they're trying to prevent you from moving ahead, ignore the fact that these are people that are, it's really the universe trying to say, now may not be the right time. There's something else that you don't know about this situation. And you may get an opportunity. You may just the cards may just be saying to wait until after the new moon. Sometimes it's not good to make moves until, the cycle of the full moon has ended. The full moon deals with completions and endings of old things. And the new moon is the time for you to pick up and start new things. So there are no pages here. So I think that many of you have already pretty much made a decision or determination about where it is you want to go and what it is you want to do. You already have that vision for yourself. I think this could be that there might be conflict within whatever relationships that you're dealing with that has not completely played out yet. Okay. It is this 10 of Pentacles, though, that, because it almost says on the diagonal here that some of you might just pick up, and this is about free will and choice. I did a reading for someone yesterday, and I was trying to explain to this person about free will and about karma. And I have a lot of people that email me questions like this. And I always at least assume or think or feel as though I'm explaining how karma works. And I guess, so karma is really the law of cause and effect. Let's say it is as above, so below. Okay. So cause and effect. something occurs and I react in a particular way. Okay. Um, Whatever my reaction is to that thing, or whatever my choice is that I choose to make, and and how I choose to move through whatever this thing is that occurs, it's going to have some kind of effect. Sometimes that effect is immediate. Sometimes it plays out years down the road, and sometimes it can be a holdover from one past life, perhaps even into future incarnations. That's what karma is. Okay. Fate is something that you cannot change. Okay. It is kind of written in the stars. That is I can't, my fate was to be born a Black woman. This is something I cannot change in this incarnation. Okay. Now, my destiny is, what do I do with being a Black woman? How I choose to use my Black femaleness will determine my destiny. Okay. This is how you are the captain of your own ship. And in the course of trying to steer my own ship to my own destiny, choices have to be made. So, this is how my karma will. Am I going to run over people and be nasty and be stingy and be mean? Am I going to lie? Or am I going to try to uphold respect and compassion for other people? Okay. But yet the flip side of that is I can uphold respect and compassion and love for other people, but I could also do that to the detriment of my own self, where I'm giving more to other people than I'm giving to myself. That too is a law of karma and cause and effect. Okay. So it's about learning how to balance right thought, right speech, right behavior, not only to yourself, okay, but in terms of how you react and interact with others in your sphere. And this is simply even just meeting people on the street sometimes. We've met those people that sometimes you just want to punch them in the face, you know, but so, you don't do that, because if you just did that, what? You go to jail. Aha, cause and effect. So this 10 of Pentacles, though, is giving me, because the coins represent the physical plane. They represent the ability to take care of ourselves, to provide for others, to give back to our communities, and whatnot. But it also speaks to the actual physicality of doing the work. It represents the physical plane. And I have 1, 2, 3 actual coins cards here. Now, the Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the goddess of love. Okay. And that's really what we know her for. She represents beauty and art and, the finer things in life. And, Taurus loves that. They like those finer things in life. But Venus can also be a very, very fickle goddess. Okay. In the mythology, she was married to Vulcan, and she had many affairs. She, with different people, she had kids out of wedlock. So Venus can be either having the balance to understand, okay, I can make this money and I can have these things, but they don't make who I am. But it can also be about being so insecure within yourself that you use money and things to buy affection from other people. That could be that, that conflict, that instability that we're talking about up here with the 2 6s. And this will always cause issues. The flip side of Taurus is that it could be somebody who's very, very stingy and don't want to come up off of nothing. In which case, all of this is going to cause a conflict. So it really is about trying to find that balance in between the two of staying true to yourself, okay, but also honoring and upholding other people. Who and what will you sell your soul for? Who and what is most important to you? And granted, there are times when there are some things really that you don't get because they won't be good for you. Okay? And the universe knows better than you do of this. This Queen. Now, this is going to apply whether you are same-sex or heterosexual, because this is just the feminine energies of the Queen. Okay? You could be a male nurse. Okay? But there's something that we don't know about, because there are 2 keys. There are 2 keys. at the base of the Hierophant's feet, here are two swords lying on the ground, completely discarded. As if to say, that idea, those two ideas are done for. Not that there's no turning back. I think that there is a moment of contemplation here. For some of you, this could just be simply that you know you want to move for work and maybe you don't have enough money to do that. Okay? For some of you, this could be about getting a promotion, and it is going to give you that opportunity to provide more financial stability and security for yourself and your family. But nevertheless, you know, I did a reading for somebody, I don't know, a few days ago, and the person wanted to change jobs. And they said, well, I've already interviewed for the job, you know, and I said, well, what do you know about this place? Well, I don't really know anything. I'm like, how the hell are you going to apply for a job and you ain't done no research on the damn company? You know, what they're selling you, that bill of goods that they're selling you in that contract could be all well and good. And then you get there and you find out you're working for the company of Satan. So these are things that, you know, and also it will behoove you to be able to go back if you get called back for a second interview. The interviewer may ask you a question and you know nothing of the corporate history. You know nothing of what they do. You know, you want to be able to answer those questions. Okay. So that person, well, shit, they're serious. They did the time to do the research. These are things that you want to do, but there's something about this particular situation that we don't know yet. So I think that after this full moon, I'm sorry, this new moon that occurs on the 25th, you might be able to move ahead. You might receive some news that you're going to get the A-OK. Now, this represents Mercury in Virgo. And Mercury is good at the details. Virgo is good at the details. Mercury is exalted in Virgo. So this is really about being able to put a whole bunch of pieces together and really make something big out of this on just the surface level of that. This card also represents Virgo, this Knight of Pentacles here. What I want to take a look at, and I just think this 5 here is a distraction. It could be somebody who's just like trying to distract you from what it is that you're supposed to be doing. And sometimes that is a test of the universe. How bad do you want it? And what are you willing to do to get what you want? And sometimes that means chucking people by the wayside. It just means that. Why? Not you're chucking them by the wayside because you don't care about them and you don't care what happens to them and you're insensitive to the way they feel. It is about chucking people to the wayside because they're not meant to take this next journey with you. This card is also known as going on a trip. Here we see somebody's trying to, you're literally trying to move, and I think you've been doing this for some time, even if it's only been mentally. Okay? Maybe for some of you, you're sad and, well, I don't know about leaving because I'm going to miss, you know. Come on. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Skype, text messages, email. We live in an age of electronic. There's no reason why we can't stay in touch with people if we want to stay in touch with them. Damn Google Earth can get a mole on your butt. Come on. We can send satellites and people to other planets. This could also be a warning in the center about someone pulling the wool over your eyes. Here with this Hierophant, the Fool, and the 5 of Swords. Somebody who is talking a good game. Everything sounds hunky-dory. And you're falling for it. You're falling for it. But at the same time, I think your intuition is kind of, the signs are there. And I think this could be a moment where you're not sure exactly what you should do. We can look at this 5 of Swords like you got your guard up. Because you sense, I think, here with this Moon card, you kind of know something is not right. And sometimes this can be God, if I take that job, that's really going to solve all of my money issues, but you just don't feel right about it. Listen to that. Like my grandma used to say, there's always one way to, another way to skin a cat. You still might be able to figure out something in which you can get that new job, but don't have to sell your damn soul for it. Okay? This is definitely some kind of financial thing and some kind of legacy issue here. Let me pull cards on this. It is really this 10 of coins that is really bugging me. And you wouldn't think that to look on the surface of the card, because it looks like something that's very sometimes the energy of Mercury and Virgo is all about somebody who has lots of money-making ideas that really have some value to them. And they really will serve the greater good. You see, that's that legacy card. With this Hierophant here. So this could be, maybe if you have a bunch of ideas, maybe you should be keeping those things to yourself at this particular point in time. Not talking to a lot of people about what you plan on doing. Do make note of those things. Sometimes ideas can come to you literally out of the blue, sleeping. You wake up, oh my God. If you can, try to keep a notebook or a journal next to your bed. I have trouble with that because I can't see squat as soon as, and I forget as soon as I open my eyes. So I have taken to, when I get ideas out of the blue, I have a little note thing on my phone, a little note app, and I jot down things. And sometimes I don't look at it for weeks at a time, and then I'll go through it and I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot all about that. And I can pull it up. Sometimes just putting a title down for it will give you an idea. Let's take a look at this 10 of Pentacles. You see, in effect, this night, remember I said this is a changing energy. 10s always represent the end of a cycle. A change is coming. Well, here the Knight shows up with the Ace of Pentacles. See, she has the Ace here. And she's, I think, trying to hold it in good stead, to disseminate it down for other people. That could be, it could mean many things. That could be something as simple as knitting and crocheting up a bunch of hats to send off to some child orphanage or something. It's not always a big major thing. Sometimes the pip cards really deal on the mundane level, the everyday life, how situations, that energy may play out. Look. This card also represents marriages. Now, not everybody wants to be married like husband and wife, or wife and wife, or husband and husband. Some people are literally married to their jobs and what they do. This is how legacies are. They are committed and devoted to whatever it is that they're doing. Some people come into the world with a mission, okay, that sometimes other people don't understand. I'm not a religious person, but think back to Jesus coming into the world, one of the three main prophets. Nobody understood what he was talking about. Nobody knew what he was doing, and he literally had to take a trip. He had to go away for many, many years, and he had to sit in one place and contemplate, what does he do with what he has, what gifts he's been given. How is that going to play out? How am I going to leave this legacy? And yes, that road is fraught with danger and frightening things and scary things. But in order to leave my legacy, I'm just going to have to step out on faith and do it. I will not kowtow to fear. Okay, so the three cards are the Mercante, Pensiero, Viaggio. Because we started out with relationship issues with the 2 6s and the 2 5s, I do feel for some of you that this is going to be someone new coming in. It may be someone that you already know from your past who's coming back. There has been some conflict and some difficulties, perhaps at the time that you guys were dealing with each other. Excuse me. You were going in two separate directions, or there was some conflict over maybe the way that your beliefs, okay, not just religious or philosophical beliefs, but just your beliefs in general. Sometimes this could be the energy of two people that have two separate goals, but then they find out after some time that, because this card can sometimes just be about having the same values, okay, at its core, even though we may disagree with, I'm a Democrat, you're a Republican, but at our core, we still believe that family is important, being able to provide for family, being respectful and honest to people, paying respects where respects are due. We still have those same core values, okay? And if you can come together on those same core values, then you can build something. Everything else is kind of like, I don't know, a distraction. Mercante. So this is to me like the Three of Wands in this card. This is the businessman. So this is the person who does negotiations and mediations. And I do feel for some of you that this is somebody coming. I don't necessarily want to say somebody coming. It is somebody that you already know coming back from the past. I don't necessarily always see the Hierophant and the Fool card and the Moon card as speaking to past life connections. But this is also known as the soulmate card. So this could be somebody that you are soulmates with, but that it was such a challenging encounter. Everybody had to go their separate ways. And sometimes that's how soulmate relationships work. Soulmate relationships are that you meet people, you instantly recognize them on a soul level, but you just can't seem to get it together. There's some kind of conflict, some disagreement on ideas. One person doesn't want to cooperate. The other person maybe is over cooperating. And so you have to go to your separate corners. But then after some time pass, you start to think, well, I don't know. Maybe this is the person that can help me achieve what it is that I'm trying to achieve. Okay, so this is not always about that romantic kind of love, although I think for some of you it could be. The possibility is there. For others of you, this is about a partner coming in who really that you're going to be able to work with. But it's going to require that everybody upholds their own personal values and then try to figure out how to come together. Maybe sometimes this is about how to merge values together. Like I say, I'm a Buddhist and I marry a Jewish person. Well, they celebrate Hanukkah. Okay. Do I make a fight with that person and say, God, because I don't believe in the Old Testament, I think what you represent in this is bunk? No. You figure out a way to incorporate those things. Okay? That's how you're going to come together and build that legacy. So this is a negotiation coming up. This is someone thinking about that. This meditation here. Pensiero, thought, meditation. And here's the viaggio. Now this is a trip or a vacation, someone returning, but it can also be a job interview. But it's these two cards. I think this is a highly significant spread. I just wish I could tell you exactly what the cards are speaking about. And it almost reads as though here, Six of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Four of Pentacles. Taurus is a very slow, stubborn, moving energy. Here, Sun in Capricorn, that's the energy of the Four of Pentacles. It represents that time frame. And this is a very pivotal card, this Four of Pentacles, because it sits as the last card down on the vertical column of the past. But it is also the first card out on the horizontal future row. It represents the time frame between January 10th and 19th. So maybe for some of you, that date is of this year. Maybe this has something to do with it. Maybe there was some kind of change that has occurred, or some decision that you made that has kind of perhaps changed the course of events for you. This might be an opportunity to get a second chance, a second bite at the apple. This could be that job that you had wanted. Maybe, you know, you haven't really heard anything. It's been a long time, whatever the case may be. And then suddenly you open up your inbox and there's a letter saying, you know, an email, do you think we'd like to set up a time to meet with you? So it almost reads like it's a second opportunity coming back around. But it has not been without some difficulties. I want to take a look at these two cards together, Four of Pentacles and the Moon card. And then I'm going to read you that meaning again. And then we're going to go ahead and close this down, because I got to get busy on the what do you call it? Excuse me. How funny is this? These cards, they are just, I don't know sometimes. Okay. I want you guys to take a look at this. Four of Pentacles, someone sitting. I'm not going to move. That's that stubborn Taurus energy. I'm not moving because, well, I'm afraid to move, or I don't trust what's going on, or I just don't see a way to move forward with this. Okay, it's time for me to move. But there's something I don't know yet. Militare. Now, this is a card of law enforcement, or relationship with law enforcement. But it also speaks to, what do we know about the military? Well, they act in defense. They go to war. They do black ops. They are dropped behind enemy lines and do things. They can be aggressive. They can be destructive, but they can also, sometimes they have to destroy things or be aggressive in order to, in the end, uphold a particular value, okay, of the highest good. The letter. I'm getting that there might be some kind of legal issue here, because if we just take it law enforcement, well, if you got any trouble with law enforcement, you know, that might mean you're going to have to go to court, even if it's nothing but to pay a damn ticket, right? So there's some legal issue here. And it is behind the scenes. We don't know what's happening. This is why the cards are telling you to make damn certain before you sign anything. There's probably could be some kind of hidden clause in this, some kind of catch-all. Remember, we're talking about somebody who might be trying to pull the wool over your eyes in terms of something here. This could also be you just rushing damn ahead because you just want to do it and you're stubborn and you don't want to listen to anybody else. Melancholia, the sadness or the depression. Now, there's two things that these three cards are telling me. They're telling me that, you know, you might be a little upset or a little depressed or a little out of sorts because you're having to, there's a hold on whatever it is you're trying to do or the direction in which you're trying to go. I also feel that some of you may have this, I sometimes read this card as a bit of uneasiness because you kind of, like I said, you kind of know that maybe that something's up. Maybe it's taken the person too long to come back with some information. But this is also saying to you that if you don't heed the warning of these two cards, that this is how you're going to be damn feeling. And then this says that that's going to be somebody else riding off into the sunset with that Ace of Pentacles. So I'm going to pull these cards up. I want you to go ahead, if this was not answered, if your question was not answered, and this could be in anything. This could be like a prenup agreement that you might have to do, or it could be a divorce proceeding coming to the end. This can play out for many people in many different ways. It's a general reading. In order to gain any clarity or insight into your situation requires a personal reading. This is just general information. For some people, they're going to be like, oh my God, that's exactly what I'm going through. And some people are like, I don't know what the hell she's talking about. So that's the way it works. Go ahead and formulate a question in your mind if this spread did not, and perhaps the angel answer cards can give you an answer, can give you comfort and solace if this is what you need. I think it's a moment of distilling down of patience and having faith. If I had to distill it down into one succinct sentence, it is about sometimes, because the Hierophant is not just necessarily a person. It can be about paying attention to the higher self and the higher knowledge, and always trying to uphold that in the best way that you can, so that you don't harm yourself or others, but also that you don't allow others to come in and harm you. Okay? So it is about sticking true to your values. And you don't have to be mean and nasty about that. You know, that just doesn't work for me. You know, simple as that. All right. You know, maybe that person you can negotiate. We do have those 3 cards of the, what do you call it? The merchant guy, the mercante, the pensiero, and the viaggio. Maybe there's a negotiation that you can do. Okay? Sometimes it's about splitting the baby down the middle. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know, just because it doesn't seem right to you doesn't mean that you might not be able to get in there and work that for yourself. It's all about having faith and belief in your own abilities, what you know you can do, show people you can do, that you're competent at doing, and being appreciated for that. In however manner that means, whether that means getting a promotion, getting more pay, getting a bigger office, getting a driver, being able to fly first class, whatever that means for you, upgrading to a bigger house, whatever that means for you, you know. There's nothing wrong with wanting to have nice things and to provide for yourself and live a decent life. There's nothing wrong with that. Somebody getting mad. Sometimes I'll be seeing them super rich people. They be doing stupid stuff. And I'm like, really? That's called having more money than sense? Okay, anyway. Here's one card. Here we go. Look for a sign. Remember I was talking to you about that psychic activity? And tuning into the higher self? There it is. Oh, well. Indeed. Here we have a 5 of coins. I think that many of you, this card is called Feeling Alone. And I don't know if you can see, she's standing on the top of this bluff, sort of like the Fool card. Okay? And instead of her rose and her flower, her little hobo stick, she's got a lamp. But if you notice, she's not holding that lamp up ahead of her like that of the hermit. Okay? So this tells me that this person has already come, they're at a particular point. All right? She may have crossed miles and miles and miles to get to this point. There's her destination. I don't know if you can see that. There's a cottage there with the light on. But look what's hanging over the moon. I mean the mountains. There's the moon card. And well, we don't know, there's a river here. So we don't know if she steps off of this little bluff. Is it marshland? Is it quicksand? What is it? We don't know. But she's at a point. This is decision time. What do I do? And you can't really see this on this particular card, but her head is not even faced directly at this cabin that's there. It's kind of looking off in the distance, as if she's trying to decide, well, do I go straight ahead, or how do I get to that cabin? How far am I going to have to traverse around this river? Am I going to have to climb those stupid mountains? Is it going to be more challenges and more obstacles? Very well, because that's usually what the fives represent. They represent obstacles, hassles, challenges, delays. This can be people in your way, situations just not, kind of like my dartboard thing. Yeah. Let's read the cards. This is a moment. So whatever tools that you can put into your arsenal that you're going to need, and pack a few extra ones that you may not know that you need. It's kind of like that Girl Scout, Boy Scout thing, the be prepared. Pack a few extra tools just in case that you're going to need to put in your arsenal to be able to help you navigate this decision that's coming up. And it is, I think, a major decision. I think it is a major course and change for some of you in your life. All right, let's look for a sign. Let's read this. Your angels have a very special and specific answer to your question. You can expect to see signs right away that will have deep meaning to you. Many people see white feathers to indicate that their angels are with them, or they may smell scents from their childhood that they connect with a family member. Remember, we had that Six of Cups card come out. Signs require focused attention, so be awake to the possibilities. Don't mistake synchronistic events for mere coincidences at this time. They are a message especially designed for you. Those are the two keys, I think, at the base of the Hierophant's key. You're going to have to figure out how to take those, because those two keys will unlock the door. Okay? You've got to figure out, for some of you, you may get, I have a symbol dictionary that I work with my Akashic Records guide. And I say, if that means yes, then I want you to show me a stop sign. If it means, a green light. If it's a no, then show me a stop sign. So I have a dictionary symbol that I use, that I work with my guides. And it's going to be different for everybody. And if you're not used to working with those types of energies, maybe now is a time, and you can simply ask, give me a sign in terms of what this means, or what am I supposed to do? Make it something that I'm not going to think is just a coincidence, because sometimes our brains can trick us. And that could also be with that Five of Swords, is really the way that we're thinking ourselves. So sometimes, we can be our own worst enemies. Our brain doesn't want us to change. Our ego wants us to stay exactly where we are. So it will try to trick you. So make it something specific. You can even ask, make it a bluebird. You can ask for something and then remain open, like the Fool and like the Hierophant, okay, to waiting for that sign to come. It may take it 7 to 10 days. And typically remember that most PIP cards represent a 2-week time frame, or 10-day time frame of energy, almost 2 weeks. So 7 to 10 days. Let me read this to you again. Your angels have a very special and specific answer to your question. You can expect to see signs right away that will have deep meaning to you. Many people see white feathers to indicate that their angels are with them, or they may smell scents from their childhood that they can connect with a family member. Signs require, listen now, focused attention, just like that Four of Coins. So be awake to the possibilities. Don't mistake synchronistic events for mere coincidences, and that's in quotes, at this time. They are a message especially designed for you. We're going to hear the feeling alone. We know that the Five of Swords is there. And now this is the Five of Wands. And we had, that would be 3 fives, but 3 fives speak to changes are coming. Right now, everything seems to be completely out of whack. You may not know up from down, left from right. You don't, whatever. I'm just getting up and going through the motions. But there's that 10 of Pentacles. So it's kind of like there's a reward. You've got to be able to figure out a way to get through this. And you can do that. Nobody's going to say it's easy. That's how you learn your spiritual lessons and you get spiritual growth. It's a challenge. And you've got to figure out, first of all, well, am I up to it? And if I'm up to it, what am I going to do to get through it? Keywords: luck, lack, abandoned, insecurity, and support. True love and emotional support may seem lacking at this time. This card suggests a period of feeling lonely or abandoned. You may think that no one understands you or your needs or even cares about you. Perhaps someone you turn to for support has deserted you, or a hoped for love has rejected you. Your insecurities may rise to the surface to overwhelm you at this time. All that you desire may seem unattainable. Don't let your confidence be shaken. There are lessons in everything, and know that this difficult period is only temporary. It's changing. Your spirit guides and the divine support you. Talk with them about how you're feeling and what you need right now. Also, seek the support of those friends and family who are there for you. Help is at hand. You just don't see it. Be careful because depression feeds upon itself. Remember that melancholia card? Lift yourself out of it by doing something physical. Take a walk, exercise, sing, or even volunteer your time. There's that groups card, that 10 of Pentacles there. You will feel better, and in doing so, will attract happiness into your life. I think maybe I wasn't supposed to bring you guys a message until today. Maybe that's why my dartboard kept moving, because I wasn't supposed to give you a message on Monday. I was supposed to bring you this message. And I do hope that for many of you out there, you're able to get something out of it, even if you don't recognize that situation. It's really up to you to try to synthesize what you hear here and how you can apply it. My role as a reader is not to tell you what to do. My role as a reader is to try to help you empower yourselves so that you can figure out how to navigate your situation. But it goes back to free will. Okay. And free will is, you can listen to what I have to say and synthesize that and figure out how to work it and then move forward with your plans. Or you can say, you know what she's saying is bullshit and it's bunk and I'm not paying any attention. That's your choice. Okay. I'm not here to judge. There's no judgment, no indictments, no expectations. My role is simply to try to synthesize and bring to you something that I hope that can help you by using the tarot and my Akashic record guides. So that's it. And until next time, thank you for allowing me to read for you today. That was a great message, and I got a lot out of it myself. So thank you, and namaste. This happens to me occasionally, but I got up to walk away to take a break to close down my channel receptors. And I walked around the corner, and literally there was a guide standing there who said, you need to go back and say this. These cards, let me show you something. It was these cards, the Hierophant. Hold on, because the message is specifically about these three cards. And sometimes that happens. Whenever my guides come to me at night and they won't allow me to sleep, I know that it's something major that they're trying to impart, and I don't ever know really how it's going to come to me. So that's what I mean when I say remain open to your higher self. These three cards, the Fool, the Five of Swords, and the Hierophant. Now, I don't know if this message is for one person out there or not. I think in one respect you might be able to apply it as perhaps the situation may occur for you. But the message that I got was that this is about two people that are dealing with each other, that someone is completely different, completely unique. That's that Uranian energy. Uranian people can be very strange. They can be, it rules Aquarius. So they can be very shocking, very different people, completely like off the grid or the norm. They think differently. They behave differently. They eat differently. They do things. They walk to their own drumbeat. Some people might call them mercurial, strange. They are unique to who they are. And I think these are people who are they know that they're different and they are unique. And because they stand in that, they uphold their own values. And what the message was is that this is about two people, maybe it's even about one person in a group of people, that it's such a different experience. It's such a different kind of individual that there's some internal conflict. The fives represent external conflicts, but then I have to look at this five of the Hierophant because he's disseminating stuff down through him. So this could be about an internal conflict of somebody who has come into your life who is so radically different from what you are used to that you think that it's completely impossible for you guys to get along with each other. Okay? It just won't work. And it goes back to that example. Like I said, I'm a Buddhist and I'm dating somebody who's Jewish. Well, the bottom line is the core value that we have is that we believe in something greater than ourselves. Whether I follow the teachings of Buddha and whether they follow the teachings of Moses or God. Okay? So the bottom line is those two things, even though they look on the surface and they are completely different ways of doing things, there is still a core value, something at its very heart that is the same. And that is the message that so look for that sign and do know that you are not alone. And I think you may be alone because for some of you, you are faced with this conflict of doing something or being around a group of people or being with joining forces with somebody who is so radically different. You just don't understand what the hell's going on. And you can't even explain to anybody what you're going through right now. Okay? Because if you told them, they wouldn't believe it. All right? So that's this rider that I'm adding on. And maybe that is important for somebody out there. I don't know. But I literally walked around the corner and there was one of my Akashic Records guides standing in my living room. He told me to come back and tell you this. So I have done that. And so now I'm leaving to process this video. And I will talk to you guys later. Namaste.